Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to the Talos Principle Egypt Simulator 2014 edition. And today we are going to be taking on World B2, which has a couple of sigils and a single star. Let us get on with it.
Look at you, still here. Still persevering against mindless, imaginary obstacles. You're looking for purpose. You seek meaning and reason. You're trying in vain to find rationality in the face of impossible complexity. Give up. There's no ultimate solution. Or maybe you've already given up, and that's why you're here.
Maybe I've already given up on life. I cannot seem to enjoy all the simple things. I have to sit inside and play video games for YouTube. Also, the time capsule.
I keep having these dreams. Great empty cities. Silent roads stretching for miles. The Earth from space. All dark. Not a single light to guide me home. But if someone really came from another world, what would the Earth look like to them? A wilderness? A wasteland? I don't think so. Even after thousands of years, they'd see a world shaped by our hand in every aspect of its being. They'd see the cities and the roads, the bridges, the harbors, and they would say, here lived a race of giants. These dreams, they scare me, but they also remind me that we built all of this.
Or maybe it was aliens that helped us build this, according to Serious Sam. But maybe it's just a different continuity altogether, I don't really know. There's a computer terminal here with a couple of files, and we're going to take a look at this right now, such as science_magic.html, which you can read. Also, weight loss 722, which is basically the average Tumblr feminist journal, and also another part of Arcady's journal. And that's about all you need to read from there, and we'll probably return to that computer later because inevitably there's going to be another message on it. So there are 4 puzzles in this area and a single star. The star is gonna be gotten last, actually, and it's gonna be in there. But for now, we're gonna take on this one, which takes the most amount of time to complete. This puzzle is called Higher Ground. It has a couple of jammers involved, and it's really just a lot of moving things around and waiting, basically. So you want to take this jammer right here and collect those set of keys. We actually need to use both because there are 2 doors, and I think I might be able to just jam that. Yeah, it's that one. And there's just this giant purple barrier to prevent you from bringing the jammers with you because, of course, you have to use the higher ground to your advantage. Also, there's a 3rd jammer up on this structure, and you actually need to bring it through here temporarily. I say temporarily because there are a couple of mines which you have to sort of control the flow of. I'm kind of struggling to think how I want to word this. Basically, there are 2 sets of mines, 2 each traveling in like the exact same direction together, and you want to separate them in such a way where you can basically walk between them so that way you can collect the sigil in the end, and that's pretty much the purpose of this. This right here is a good example because these 2 are traveling together, and around the center point is where I want to stop one of them and wait for the other one to traverse in the other direction until they basically intersect at the same point. And you do this twice, one which is over here because this is the only area of which you have access to, and I'm also gonna hold this door open here with this jammer because we need to take that with us. And up here on this end towards where the sigil is, you need to take this, and then around the center point once again, you just wait for them to pass in opposite directions, parallel from each other. And while we're waiting, you can also enjoy the scenery. You can look at the moon over there. You can think about why you're just sitting inside on a hot summer's day solving puzzles when you could be out there scorching in the heat. That's living, I guess. I really would love to do that one of these days, but there is one minor problem with that, and that would be the fact that it is actually raining outside, and it is decently cold too. It's been like this since yesterday, around the beginning of summer. I mean, how about that Canadian weather for you, right? That's basically all we talk about here in Canada, is just the weather. How about that weather, How about it all? Don't you just love the rain and the misery of it all? It gives me more of an excuse to play video games inside and not think about what's happening on the outside world. Or maybe do schoolwork if I actually bother to get off my lazy butt and do that sort of thing. But, you know, you gotta have priorities, and YouTube takes my top priority right now, because if I don't keep the videos going, well, this playthrough, or this walkthrough rather, is going to kind of stretch out needlessly long, because I'd be delayed by a bunch of things, and I basically need to have the same recording rate as I have the upload and saving exporting video rate of all of my videos, really. So that's my excuse. Anyway, there's also a Seek Counsel. Press mouse 1 to seek counsel panel right there, which you can use to your advantage if you've actually found one of the messengers in order to get that hint. We'll be getting to that eventually. Like I said, eventually. But for now, we're going to play Man on the Moon, and we're going to introduce to you the fans. The fan pieces themselves can also act as makeshift button pressers, like so. And the fans basically, they can be connected like this with either buttons, or you could use them with connectors, which will be introduced later on. We need to take this box with us. I'm just gonna give up on calling them hexahedrons at this point, because I've basically forgotten the previous episodes, and, well, box is just such a more easier word to say than hexahedron. It's not exactly a cube, I guess it's kind of like a box. So, yeah. I'm neglecting to call it a hexahedron from this point onwards because it is a really long word and I hate long words. Now then, we're going to go to this third puzzle, which is called the Moonshot. Now, Moonshot is a pretty interesting one because it introduces another gimmick with the fan. So you see, you have this fan running and you can float in the air for a while. It doesn't exactly do much of anything to help you progress. But over here where the sigil is, there's another box. Also, a connector panel. Now here's a... Oh yeah, you can also stack boxes like this. I guess I forgot to mention that too, but I didn't really mean to do that. Here's an interesting little gimmick. You see, you can place the boxes on the fans, and you know, those will float for a while. Pretty much perfectly, as much as we want. Now the thing about this matter of importance is that connectors are a little bit fidgety, in which if you try to just place them on fans like this, then they're just gonna sort of fly off and not really do much of anything. But for some reason, they stay completely stable once you place them on hexahedrons. So if you do this, and then just press the button with the box, there you go. That opens the door. And we're gonna leave that connector the way it is for the time being, because it actually is quite important in collecting the star. In fact, it's mandatory for collecting the star.